Morning, candidates. This is Lieutenant Piazza. This is my video on week 2 of OCS and what you can expect. So week 1 was all in processing. If you've already watched the week 1 video, it's a lot of standing in lines, waiting around, a lot of you're not going to be able to make it, you're going to get hurt, this, that, trying to put you in a bad mental spot to see if you're able to adapt and overcome from that. So week 2, we got picked up on Friday. So week 2 officially started, let's say Sunday. That was our 3rd day with the sergeant instructors. The moment you get picked up, like I said in the previous video, stuff hits the fan. It's go, 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 rah, 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 scream, 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 yell, yell, yell. It's a lot. It's constant. From the moment you wake up, the moment you get online at 05 to the moment you go to bed at 2100. It's screaming, yelling, this, that, you're not good enough, you'll never be a Marine, you can't lead Marines. Get this online, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 44. And they just start counting down everything you do. Everything is high pace. Your heart rate is always up. You're always stressed out. You're always anxious. And week 2 is basically your first taste of, if you're not a prior enlisted, it's your first taste of Marine Corps boot camp, Marine Corps OCS, that entire vibe that comes from that. So if I remember correctly, there's no graded events yet. You start taking your actual classes. So your Marine Corps History 1, your Marine Corps History 2, all the different things you get tested on, you start taking those classes. Of course, it's a really stressful environment when you go to class and when you leave class, because it's a lot of, oh, you didn't scream loud enough, stand up, sit down, 2 inches, hold your knowledge up in the air, put it back down, this, that. So once you finally get a chance to sit down and absorb the classes, you're kind of already mentally worn out. But it's a lot of you go to chow. It's where you start learning that everything you have done in your previous life isn't the correct way, and everything gets corrected. So you got to stand a certain way, you got to sit a certain way, you have to ask permission to speak a certain way. If you don't scream loud enough, you're going to scream again. They'll put some people in what I call like time loops. Well, you'll see a lot of people get put off to the side because they didn't scream loud enough, so they just sit there and continuously scream, I gunnery sergeant, I staff sergeant, whatever it is. So week 2 is mental warfare at its finest. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. It's your first time meeting the sergeant instructors. It's your first time going through anything like that. So expect to be tired, expect to be stressed out, expect to be anxious, expect to not know what's coming next. It's one of those things you just got to push through. You know, it's week 2. You know, it's early on. You know, for a little bit, it's only going to get worse, but eventually you're going to fall into a routine. Eventually it's going to get smoother. Eventually things are going to work out. So it's just, you got to push through, you know. Like I said, there's no graded events, so there's no real stress in the fact that if I do this wrong, I can fail. If I do this wrong, I could fail. I mean, if you totally are out of the loop and you can't figure a single thing out, then you might start getting looked at as a failure to adapt. That's a way that they drop some candidates. So, but I mean, if you've made it this far, you've been selected, you're a competent human being, you're a confident human being, you're physically fit enough, you're mentally good enough. So, I mean, remind yourself of that. You know, they're trying to break your confidence. Don't let them. Remind yourself that you're there for a reason. Remind yourself that you're good enough to be there. Because if you let them break your confidence, if you let them destroy you, it's gonna be a lot harder. And they're gonna see that. And if they see that you show signs of weakness, then now you're their new project. It's the project to get you out of there. They want to get you to quit. They want to get you to DOR. They want to get you to say, I refuse to train, because in their eyes, and for good reason, if you're not good enough to make it through OCS, then you're definitely not good enough to lead Marines. And a lot of them have been in the Marine Corps for 10, 15, 20 plus years. So they love Marines, they love the Marine Corps, and they will be damned if they let somebody come in that's not ready to lead their Marines. So yeah, week 2, you can expect they're going to go at you hard. They're going to come at you with everything they got, mentally, physically. Obviously, they're not going to touch you. They're not allowed to hit you or anything, but they're going to get up in your face. They're going to scream. They're going to yell. Your ears are going to ring, I'll tell you that. So just be ready for that. Be ready to adapt and overcome. Be ready to remind yourself why you're there, why you're doing this, the importance of what's going on. Be ready to reset that mind. Like I keep saying, reset that mind, reset that mind, reset that mind. So yeah, week 2 will be tough, but you can get through it. And then make it to week 3, make it to week 4. Pretty soon it'll be week 9. Pretty soon it'll be graduation. It'll all be over. So one step at a time, one task at a time, one day at a time. And just get to night lights every time. Get to lights at night, go to bed, reset your mind. When you go to bed, take some time to think about what you went through that day. Be proud of yourself, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You can do this.